Okay, should be going. We're streaming. Should have been running for about a minute now. Let's bring this up real quick. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. Real quick. All right, that's not too far behind. Let's see. All right, and I'll bring this over here. So I'm going to take this is my light time, so I can see and you can see. I've got to take these wheels. Ooh, I'm still kind of tight there, and finish assembling them all the way so I can turn around and get them sealed up and use them for water and mud and on this rig. So I'm going to go over that in this, hopefully what ends up being a short video. We'll see. Go ahead and get these off here. These are a weird rim. These are KYX 1.9 bead locks, and the center caps are part of the face of the rim. They don't actually come off. So you got to use all 6 bolts to mount the tire to the hub, which you install on the axle before you mount the tire, obviously. So you put your flange bolt on the axle, or on the, put your hub on, center hub, and lock it down with the flange bolt, and then you mount your tire with the 6 bolts. Like I say, it's just a little, this one, a little strange. Not done anything like those before. You can see I squeezed that one, pushed air out of it already, and it's still kind of sealed up. Go ahead and loosen this up a little more. There it is. You can see it sucked that air in, and still a little tight. Oh, soft though. Okay. Let me grab this lid so I'm not knocking this all over the place and losing the screws. And take them all off real quick. Don't have any weights or anything extra in the rims and tires here, wheels, so they can go on any corner when they're installed. Some people wrap some weights around their fronts to help heavy up the front. I try to use non-rotating mass as much as possible. Of course, we're getting a little bit here with the aluminum rims over stock plastics. Like I said, got this so I can see if anybody types anything. Have any questions, comments, good, bad, or indifferent? The good, the bad, the ugly. Not gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, you show me one kid today that knows the relevance of that song. You can leave your hat on. Yes, you may.
This one off here.
I heard something hit the ground there, baby.
Yep. Little screw. Fell out.
Kitty's taking her nap, is she?
Mm-hmm.
You spend a lot of time on that Scout, you know.
I'm doing a lot of little parts here for it, and when I'm doing videos, it takes a little bit more time because
You work on that Scout an awful lot.
just have over the last couple of days actually.
Having a
For a while, I
bad
really haven't even done nothing with it. I am videoing, just so you know.
I see this.
Just so you know.
Oh, we wouldn't want to say anything untoward.
No, I don't give a shit.
Well, neither do I, but, you know, we're supposed to be somewhat family friendly.
Say something like Joe Biden's a fucking idiot? I would never.
You would never. Oh,
Just trust me, folks, I would never say Joe Biden's an idiot. Never. Never hear those words, Joe Biden's a fucking idiot, fall from between my lips. I promise. I would be a politician.
I'm still sticking with my governor's a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Ooh.
she is that too.
And I got a mask that says so. My governor is an idiot. I think that's going to be worth some money someday.
Alright, so, got these big ass zip strips. And these ones can be redone big enough that you can push them down, but what we do, I've used smaller zip strips, but I've got some better ones, is we just want to zip strip it tight enough to pull a little bit of that air out of the center, just so it collapses the tire just a smidge. And I'm going to use one zip strip once I got this one set here. I think that's actually pretty good. Okay. And just like a real tire, star pattern, your screws tight, little turn, not all the way. You want them to go together smooth and evenly, just so you're not pinching anything up. I apologize about the music choices. Someone thinks we're back in college. Don't need to hear that crap. It was crap then and it's crap now. Alright, so. Slide this on with, oh, making it click anymore. So it's the same diameter, so it squeezes the tire pretty much the same as the other one. It is a little bit of the pain is working them down just a smidge to get them to the center once you've got the zip strip done, but alright, there we go. Pull it down over the centers. Kind of center decently. Now these rims, I put them together, had them tight, and you can't push any air out. Yes, water could possibly still infiltrate. Water can seep in where air can't sometimes. Wouldn't think so, but it can. So you could use a little bit of RTV caulk, silicone caulk, when you're assembling your rims, and where your rim faces meet in the center, just RTV caulk that center just a little bit. RTV caulk around your, that's like a mold pole issue. They're all like that. I'll have to check that one out. Let's try. Now's the time. I've got the thing on here. Looks like I got a bead a little funky here. But you could RTV caulk around the edge of your beads all the way around, and the edge of your seam where your rims meet, and that will, create a nice little rubberized seal in there. RTV caulk's really easy to pull out and move and get out of the way, peel off, if you will. So that makes it pretty easy. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, yeah, just pinching in there a little bit. Not quite where it's supposed to have been. Okay. And finish this one up, almost there. Last round is snug to tight. And I will go through these with a plain Allen wrench and snug them down the rest of the way. Okay. So as you can see, that actually, here's one I haven't done. You can see that the center's a little fuller. Now I've got this so the air will squeeze out. Here, let me show you. We can do it this way. Tighten this one up real quick. Now, one on the, which is my left, and my right. I think that's how it's going to come out there, but I don't know. My left, my right. Probably coming out the same, so when you're looking at it, this is going to be on your right side. Don't know. We'll see. Anyways, sealed, not been crimped, sealed and been crimped. And as you can tell, you push that, it's actually airing up. It's, getting fatter because there's air pressure in there. Now, this one I've done is still doing the same thing. It's airing up and getting fatter. But, as you notice, it's a little flatter. You push on it, it wants to sink a little bit, but it will round right back out the minute it rolls. Taking that little bit of air pressure and just squeezing that tire a smidge, it springs back a little slower, so it will grip that rock a little bit better and hopefully stay sealed and not end up being full of water. Because when you get in the water, then you get water in there and you're carrying that water as kind of dead weight in the bottom of your rim. But it's also rotational weight because it's going to soak up that foam even if the foam's not holding it. Even if it's closed cell foam, it's going to retain some water in there until you get it out. And that's going to be some rotational weight as well that you're throwing in the mix. And that water is going to move as you're up and down and sideways. If you've got some water in that tire, just like a real tire, that water is going to throw sideways and slosh around, throw your balance off a little bit. For side hilling, it could be a real problem. So those are some of the things that are, got to combat when you are dealing with tires that are vented and have water able to get into them. So this is one of my solutions, and it's always done pretty well for me. I've never had a problem. Back in 2009-10 area, when I built off started with the axles from the the AX10 Scorpion, not the SCX. The old, had the servo on axle and steering, and the original AX10 Scorpion. I grabbed a moon buggy frame that somebody had welded up over on an RC crawler, I think it was, and decked out my moon buggy. And I did this with all my tires because I had really nice aluminum rims. I remember it might have been FLMs or somebody like that at the time. Real cool looking, and they're almost like this. They had a 6-bolt. They were actually called 6 shots. Because they had 6 deals, and you could actually put, like, I think a 38 slug into the hole, and it would set in there to add some weights. So I think that they might have been revolvers or something like that. It might have been old DNA rims. I can't quite remember. It's been 12 years now, and I don't have them anymore. Sold all that stuff, unfortunately. Kind of wish I would have kept it. But the point I'm getting to, finally, is I did this with those tires. Set them up, got them kind of aired out. It took a little bit to get the first couple of ones done right, so the air pressure on the inside of the tire was acceptable. It wasn't such a negative draw, because what's happening is this tire wants to pop out round like it was in the mold. And when it's sealed, if you squeeze a little bit of that air out, you actually create a little vacuum in there, which is why these ones are kind of flatter now, because that vacuum seals a little bit. I had to do that one yet. Sorry, that vacuum sucks, of course, pulls on the tire, and it makes it not want to fully. As long as you're not getting any airflow, it makes it not want to fully suck back out. It's like, like a little negative pressure, or if you will, a really low air pressure in your tires. So the weight of the truck will push down. It will create some air pressure, which will push the tread out. But with that negative air pressure, as the weight of the truck is pushing against a corner, an edge, a ridge on a piece of wood, a stone, it, like a low air pressure tire, will actually collapse down around it, as long as you don't have too much air trapped still inside the tire, which is why it takes a couple times sometimes of on and off, loosening and readjusting until you find them how you like them. Once you've figured out where you like to set the tires, moving this process to a different set of tires, so long as you can get the rim sealed, is not a big deal. So it works out actually pretty decently, as long as you can get that rim sealed up to the tire and not have any air gaps. It works actually really well. I'm really happy with the results that I've had. final little snug. Yeah, you could just right around them one after the other without star patterning this final tighten, but habits formed, habits kept. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad, you kind of do things a certain way after a while and you just keep doing it, good, wrong, or indifferent. Alright, now we should be ready to throw them back on. Undo this. Now I'll leave this one right here, and what I'm going to do is take my pen, try to get 2 marks up here. Alright, let's go ahead and use a Sharpie. Line it on the top bottom like so. That way if it does move, I can loosen it up, pop it back into place. So I've got a few of these in the bag of them. You can pick these up at, well, probably over at like Lowe's, Home Depot. They probably have some of these over by their GP, their electrical stuff. Any electrical supply warehouse, things like that. Menards are likely. But those actually work pretty good. So let's go ahead and start fitting back on. And what we'll do is set this up and try to roll it with, get those right on the top so it's a little bit easier. Just like that. Okay. I'm getting hungry. Trying to get some dinner. What time is it? It's 4 p.m. At least time to get something to munch on lunch. Not really dinner. I haven't ate breakfast or lunch yet today. Well, so these are a little bit of a trick. Kind of flying blind a little bit, but kind of a pain doing it this way. I mean, I like it, but I don't. It is kind of cool on the scale concept. I guess that, you know, in some ways you can leave the hubs on the rig and not have to try to find different hubs all the time. So I guess that could be, or swap hubs, but you know, because if you got a rig set up that needs a specific hub to do whatever it is you're doing with it, And then it is what it is. Okay. Come on with you. There it is. That one needed a little hair around it. This obviously don't change the stance very much. It just allows your tires to actually mold and roll over the corners a little better, the edges of the rock or the dirt or the limb or log or whatever it is you're on. And it allows the weight of the vehicle to actually push the tire down and grapple along. But again, the main reason is it keeps water out for the most part. Again, if you RTV it, it will absolutely keep that water out. RTV those bead locks, so a little RTV around the seam at the rim in the center where it meets. Now, I see some of these rims, I got a set of 2.2. These are not KXYs, they're just a cheap knockoff. They actually have a divot in the center for airflow. Although they still kind of seal up. It needs to be cleaned out a little bit on those ones if you want air in them. So that's one thing you can do. You do get a set of rims, you don't have any, venting, and you're not real keen on, putting a hole in the tread of the tire where it could rip it. Because that can happen. I've seen it happen. Not often, but it happens. But anyways, you turn around and, create a hole in your vent. Now the nice things about the way these wheels, rims here go together, seam in the middle, is they actually have a spot where you can turn around and, just put a divot, notch your divot into the edge of the seam where the two halves come together in the middle, and you'll be good. Now this is all aluminum, and probably not really good high quality 6061 or anything. So it's important not to over tighten, or because you'll strip. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. How long we've been rolling here now? I should be able to tell here in a minute. 31 minutes. Take off all four wheels. Show you my little simple process. And like I say, when you look at them, you can see they're a little flatter. Let me grab something. It's got some ridges on it. You can see how that, better view here. Go like this with it. Now I'll go out and try to get some vid here. But you can see that, you know, collapses right down, hops right back. When you roll it, of course, you push on it. It's going to keep a little bit of that negative pressure in there. But when you set her on all fours, it will actually flatten out. Gives you a little flat spot here. Not a lot, but you got a little flat spot in there. And then, of course, as the tire climbs up over something, you know, it molds and pushes a little bit better, even though it's got air in it. I can push those wheels all the way together, and it doesn't really balloon out the rest of the tire, where before it was. Just doing that right there was causing the rest of the tire to really balloon out. So this is what I do to try to help keep my tires dry when I know I'm going to be wet. It's September 3rd here in Michigan, so we're going to be seeing some wet season, and I run year-round if I can, as long as I can get outside and my fingers don't freeze up. I've had frostbite twice, fairly significantly, not so bad that I've lost any fingers or have lost any meat or skin, but almost. I've got serious nerve damage in my hands, and now at about 45, 50 degrees, if I'm outside at 50 degrees, you can watch the blood, it'll flow right out of my hand. So I got some pretty serious nerve damage going on from frostbite. As long as I can get around that, I'll play outside in the winter. Born and raised in Michigan, I love the winter. It just doesn't love me as much as I used to love it. I should say my body don't love it as much as my brain does. So anyways, that's all there is to it. I do have to do a little adjustment. I want to adjust these front shock springs to push it, you know, to get it to push up a little bit. It's setting a little low in the front. The backs, I don't think I have them adjusted at all. These are the slightly different shocks. So there's the RC all-wheel drive. I didn't know they were RC all-wheel drive until they actually arrived. But yeah, they should do pretty good. Actually, it looks pretty good over here. Looking at these tires, are kind of got a nice little flatness. I don't know. Well, yeah, I should be able to do this. Move this thing. I don't know what this side looks like too well. A little different, harder to see because it's on the angle, but you can kind of see here the front tire, how flattened it is over there. Yeah, it's got a nice little ridge and all flat. And that's what just pushing that little bit of air out before you lock your beads together. If that does seal your tire, if it doesn't have vents in it, and that actually will help. It's not perfect. A lot of people, you know, especially if you're comp crawling, almost certainly are going to have vented tires. But there's a reason that these guys in the 1-to-1 scales don't use similar stuff, because you can make a tire nice and thick. And if you make a tire nice and thick, it'll handle the weight of the vehicle and fall where you want it. But there's a reason they don't run unvented tires. They actually have tubes and have sealed tires, because at the end of the day, it makes a difference. That water infiltration can be a pain, and it's something in RC we generally just deal with by taking the tires apart. Take a little time. You may like this setup, and you may try it. I had really good luck with it with my moon buggy. I mean, that thing, I could crawl damn near 90 degrees up something with it, as long as I could get a tire over the front edge. There almost wasn't anything I couldn't eventually get that thing to come up on. So it's, in my mind, in my opinion, it's a proven ability. Its capabilities are proven. It's a matter of tuning them and getting them just right, because if it ain't right, you're going to have problems, absolutely. So there's that. Something to think about, but I thought I'd throw that out there. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to chill this thing. I need to go get some food in my gut and get a few other things done around the house here. So Thanks for hanging out. You guys have a good day. Hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And if you do subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Choose the 3 dots and choose all notifications. Otherwise, it defaults to personal notifications, and you won't get any notifications for any videos from anybody you subscribe to unless they send it to you personally. So thanks a lot. Have a good day. We will talk to you folks later.